How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve.
What's going on, everybody? So excited to have you guys on the Trainer Revenue Multiplier podcast. As always, I am your host, Jaime Filer, and I am joined by Isaac Miller on another episode of Coach's Corner. Could not be more excited to dive into this with you. How are you, Isaac?
I'm good. I'm just fired up from our coach, like the platinum call we just had. Like I'm on fire, ready to go for quarter two. It's going to be good, but I'm excited to be here for the Coach's Corner. How have you been, Jaime?
Good. Yeah, no complaints. Q1 was, I think our second highest in business so far. Black Friday kind of skewed our numbers in Q4 of last year, but I think if we take out the outlier, Q1 of 2024 has been our best in business so far. So excited to see what else is on the docket for us. Can you hear me? Apologize for the delay, guys. I think we're having some connectivity issues on my end. Isaac just kind of looks like that floating circle. Oh, you're back. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that your internet went out for like 20 seconds?
I mean, it's good on my end. So I don't know.
Okay, no problem. If it happens again, maybe I will try resetting. You were just like a floating circle.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, we're here now. So good. Let's talk about the client that you wanted to bring specifically to this Coach's Corner episode. What was it about the transformation, the buildup, where they came from to where they're at now that made you want to feature this person?
Yeah, absolutely. So this coach, we started a while ago, and it was kind of a slow build, completely fresh start in kind of the coaching space. They had worked with a few coaches, kind of interned under a couple coaches. So it was really still kind of a new concept. And so they came in whenever it was still kind of the silver program, and now we have really just like that gold accelerator and really bringing everything to gold. But he's someone that really focused a lot, I think personally, on the personal growth to be a successful coach, because the knowledge was there. He had amazing knowledge of training and physiology and nutrition and everything, but it was actually taking that and being able to apply it with a good business kind of system in place that allowed him to start to grow. And with that, it was a big mental thing to have him quit his 9 to 5. Well, I wouldn't say 9 to 5. He was like in contracting. So it was a pretty labor intensive job, but to remove himself from that and go full on into his coaching business. And then from there, once he was fully in his business, to be able to have that mindset of being like an entrepreneur and really doing the steps to grow and not just expecting, people to come to him. And something we all kind of do, I think, when we first start is like, oh, I'm going to put it out there that I'm a coach. And then 3 months pass and you're like, why has no one hired me yet? And it's like, well, what have you done to get clients? Well, I said I was a coach. And it's like, cool. What else? And so for him, it was really diving into the what else. Here's the steps that we need to do to allow you to actually be an entrepreneur and grow your business. And he's been able to see some pretty awesome growth. And it's gotten me fired up.
Okay, awesome. So we'll get into the nitty gritty, but I guess my first question is, you said that he had interned under other coaches before. What do you think it was that made what you did with him stick? Like, why was he still going through and going to other coaches for mentorship?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it was mentorship like business. It was like the actual application of coaching, like taking on clients under
Oh, okay. I see.
and just kind of helping facilitate and seeing under the hood of like what a coaching process looks like.
Understood. Okay. Got it. Never mind then. So my first question is, when he came into your ecosystem, did you know right away that it was going to be more psychological and personal growth versus strategic? And then how did you decide what your next steps with him were going to be when you figured out it was more a matter of personal growth?
I think personally, in my experience, 90% of people are by default more mindset personal growth first. And it's one of those things where it's like, you could be making 500,000 a year, but if you're not actually personally and mentally ready, truly ready, not just like, oh, I'm ready, SpongeBob, like I'm ready kind of thing, but actually being able to be ready to make $1 million, then it doesn't matter what you do, you're never going to make and maintain $1 million. Same thing if you make 2K a month and you're not mentally and really personally ready to make 10K a month. Doesn't matter what you do, you're never going to make 10K a month. 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like insert the number there. So I think 90% of people really, it's like kind of mental and personal growth first, and then the systems come after.
Yeah.
There is like an outlier 10% who they are ready. They love being an entrepreneur. Now they just need the strategic like systems and help putting the puzzle pieces together, because sometimes they can't see the whole picture and they get sucked in and they understand that. But I think that's very few and far between for the most part.
Okay. So as soon as you knew that that was going to be the plan, and it wasn't enough to just announce to the world that he was a coach, what were your first 3 steps that you gave him?
So same thing, like when we talked about my last case study, it was like database. Who do you know? And building that database and starting those reach outs. Then for him, he's a hybrid coach, but he loves the in-person. And so I had him go through what I call my in-person coaching crucible. And this is something that I've been mentoring in-person coaches for many years, even before TRM, because when I managed 2 contractor-based, PT gyms in the past, I had to mentor all of those coaches that came in. And what I realized was a great tactic is what I call the crucible. Now, this is not something you can maintain. And I tell people this from the start, like, you're not going to maintain this. I don't want you to maintain this. But it's a crucible for a reason. And so I had him working pretty much sun up to sundown. He had breaks in there, but it was like, what you're doing is you're going to the facility that you'll be contracting out of, and you're seeing which demographic shows up at which time. Because the morning crew might be, it's a completely different gym in the afternoon, and then a completely different gym again at night, right? Yeah. The crew that comes in at 11 when most people are at work is way different than the crew that comes in before work starts, like at 5 a.m. or after work's over at 6 p.m. Like it's a completely different demographic, and it creates a whole different vibe in the gym. And then also what you're going to be doing during this time is every hour on the hour, you're going to get up and you're going to work the floor. But in order to make it easier for you to start conversations, because that's new, you're going to take a rag, take a spray bottle, start cleaning equipment. And every time you pass someone, you just introduce yourself. Say that you're the new trainer there, start up a conversation. Then if they need anything, if they need a spot, if they have any questions, feel free to ask. You'll be there. You'll be walking around. You're always there to help them. Cool. You just start those conversations. So you're building up your mental database of who's in the gym at what times, understanding who they are, being able to talk to them multiple times so you can remember their names. And that perception of like, how many other trainers there are actually cleaning equipment throughout the day? He's like, none. I was like, exactly. So it already looks like you care more than anyone else there.
Yeah.
So whenever the members are thinking of a trainer, they're going to go to the one that hits the small details. Make sure equipment's clean. Make sure things are picked up off the floor. Always stopping and saying hi. Randomly, spotting someone that they see struggle. Fist bumping someone after you see them, do a big lift and be like, oh, heck yeah, awesome job. And fist bump them as you walk by. Like, they remember those things.
Yeah.
So you're going to be there all day. You're going to be on the hour every hour doing that walkthrough. And then in the times where it's slow or in between that, that's when you pull out your laptop and you do your online work. You build your program database. You build your actual database. Go through our modules. Like, start doing that stuff in that downtime. And you're going to do this for 2 weeks. After you do this for 2 weeks, you're most likely going to have a pretty good bill of in-person clients or a good database full of information. And you're going to then be able to step back and work the hours because you know which demographic you serve comes in at what time. You're able to pick the members and the clients that you actually want to start to nurture to be clients. And all that can happen in 2 weeks if you actually take this Crucible serious. He did. And he saw some pretty immediate, like within a few weeks, he was getting like 10 to 12 consults a week. And so that's something that I've noticed works really well, that like kind of Crucible period. And that's what we did for him to allow him to start building up his database from scratch.
That's so awesome. And what a smart idea. And I especially love the idea about the attention to detail. It's so true, right? Like, I mean, I don't want to make the comparison, but the way Andy Frisella always tells people to clean the pee off the seat, even if it's not your pee, it's about keeping the home, your environment tidy and doing what you would do anywhere, right? So if I see dirt in my own house, I'm going to clean it. The gym is your home. Clean it. And again, other people will see that core value of yours. So I really like it. Now, I guess my question is, you have them working really hard, Crucible period, totally understand. How do you, transition them away from that? Because psychologically, that's very addictive. 10 to 12 consults a week, the hell yeah, that's a lot of money coming at you. So how do you wean them off that and simultaneously teach them when to build in breaks?
Absolutely. So the breaks is something that we do put in within that Crucible period. So like giving yourself, if you do a 3-hour block, then you're going to take like 45 minutes to an hour off. And then a 3-hour block, 45 minutes to an hour off, 3-hour block. Like you're going to get those blocks and then taking 1 day completely off. And that pick a day that you know you're going to take off forever anyway. So like if you have clients that, you give them 1 or 2 rest days a week, you typically can already most of the time bet, especially like competitors, it's going to be every Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah.
For the next 12 weeks, they're going to have off. So you can think past the Crucible. What days are you typically going to have off anyway? Take that day off.
So, yeah.
And then from the beginning, I let them know this is temporary. So whenever you do finish, you should have a note of what demographic you serve shows up at what time. That's when you actually plan your in-person training period of time. Mm-hmm. And if we can fill up that space, then we don't need to go to other time slots to try and like, you shouldn't have to show up to the gym at 6 a.m., work from 6 to 9, and then go back to the gym at 4 and work from 4 to 9. Yeah. You should just be able to work 4 to 9. And then we can focus on building up other things like your hybrid so that you can keep that residual income coming in.
Awesome. Perfect transition, perfect segue into our conversation about his online business. Where did you guys start in terms of him finding the online clientele?
Yeah. So with online, really it's his retention offer. Because he's not like, if you were to ask him what kind of coach are you, he would not say he's an online coach. For him, he loves the biomechanics. He loves being able to be hands-on with his clients, putting them through workouts and actually seeing and moving them through ranges of motion and being hands-on. Like that's his thing. He loves it. So the thought of being completely online is like icky to him. Like it's not what makes him fired up to be a coach. But the understanding of freedom and being able to serve more people and to give more value, because he's a he's a competitor himself. He was a powerlifter himself and bodybuilding. So he understands like the online programming is very key to allowing them actually to maximize their results. So it was like, all right, online becomes a retention offer if they go through your programming, and instead of just dropping off, and this is something we incorporated fairly recently, like in the past 6 months, because he had a pretty big churn rate. Just because in person is pretty seasonal at times, depending on your price point. And he has a pretty good price point. So it was like, how about you do kind of an automated like online programming for training and nutrition that you can go through at a lower price point. It's like $225 a month, or it's like $600 for 3 months paid in full or something like that, where it's pretty hands off on your part, except for the check-ins, but you already have their entire, and he uses an app for their training. So you can already template their training, just go and tailor it to the specific, like if they have like elbow issues or knee issues, he can tailor it, but it's already there for like the next 12 or 16 weeks. So he doesn't have to do much hands-on. So we can sell it for a pretty low price point. And that helps retain some of the people that have gone through in person that now are like, all right, I need to recoup my finances. Say, awesome, but do you want to keep those results? Yeah, cool. I have this offer. I think it would be perfect for you. It's still, my coaching. It's I can tailor it to you, but it's obviously, we know it's from a template, but we can tailor that to the specific person. Yep. So it is tailored, and you can continue to see those results. We'll have check-ins, every week or bi-weekly, and then you can keep that progress. And then they do, and then it also allows them to eventually come back after that template is done, and they think, man, this was great. I miss being pushed in the gym again. And he's actually starting to get some of that, where like someone went through his online and is like, I kind of miss being pushed in the gym. I would like to come do a session. And so now it's like building up a package system for just sessions and not the hybrid, so that they can continue. They know what they're doing. They now just want to be pushed. And so it's building up a session package. But the hybrid is really the online bread and butter, where he's able to work with someone either once a week or twice a week or even once a month, and have them through an online program, and still is able to at least be with them hands-on a little bit and gauging our packages that way. And that's his main core offer, is the hybrid.
This makes sense. So does he do any outreach as it relates to his online business?
No, like it's really all local in person. Okay. And outreach, though, we still go through a database. Like we still reach out to local people, local businesses. We still do a lot of networking, still have him do a lot of, he reaches out to his past clients every 2 months. He'll reach out to past clients just to touch base. Through that, he always ends up getting at least 1 to 2. I think this past month he had like 4 or 5 consults just from past clients that have come and gone. And so that's a consistent form of outreach, and then working the floor in the gym as well.
So no social media.
He does some social media, and that's something that we've just recently started really getting more consistent with. Okay. And I think that's another mental shift. We all fall prey to this. We do some posting, algorithm doesn't favor us. We take the algorithm's hit on us personally, and we think no one likes us. What we're saying is pointless, and I'm just not going to post. When in reality, just the algorithm didn't show it to anybody. We didn't play the game right. We didn't do some scrolling or commenting or messaging before or after we posted. So Facebook or Instagram didn't want to actually push it to anybody. So instead of being shown to 5,000 people, it showed to 5. And we're thinking, man, I suck. And it's like, no, it's just, you didn't play the game the right way at that hand. You don't win every hand. Like it's kind of like blackjack. You can't expect to beat the house every hand. It just doesn't happen. And Instagram is the house. And sometimes it's not going to let you play the game.
Right. So let's talk, speaking of the house and blackjack, let's talk dollars and cents before we close it out. Tell me where he was when you started with him. Tell me where he is now.
He was at 0 when we first started. Okay. He was brand new to it. And now he's averaging 6 to 7K.
Hell yeah. And how long have you guys been working together?
We've been working together for a while, but we didn't really start diving into taking on clients
Yeah.
until about, I'd say we took it real serious about 6 months ago.
Amazing.
And through that, it was a lot of trial and error of like trying to get his systems to match his offer.
Okay.
And then also trying to just the mental, like being actually wanting to make income. Because that was another thing, that mental back and forth. And I would say about 3 months ago, he was like, I feel mentally good. I'm ready to crush it. And it was an immediate jump to like 6.5, 7K a month. Whereas before it was like 3, then maybe 5, then maybe 2, then up to 4. And as soon as he was mentally like, I get it now. I'm ready to play the game. Like business is a game and I see it now and I can play this game to better serve people. Immediate jump to 6.5 and 7s.
Okay. So what was biggest difference, or I guess biggest tip? Okay. Biggest difference in his business that you taught him, biggest tip you would give other people who are hybrid trainers specifically that they can take away from this case study.
The biggest tip, I think, was the way he acts in the gym. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So when you are in that gym, you have to take off the personal, whoever you are at home hat and put on, I am a service-based like entrepreneur. Like I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to fit this, as Alvin would say, this character that you create for who you are in the gym. Still be authentic in that character, still be you. But if the you at home is someone who is hood on, shut closed, tied, doors triple locked, and slow jazz on while you sit, huddled on your couch, it's not going to be the version of you that is able to attract and close and better serve customers. So you're going to have to put on a hat that can do those jobs. And so that is a tip that I think really played out to him being able to build his clientele. And then I would say that's the tip that I would give other people is, if you are a hybrid coach and you're trying to build up a clientele online, figure out who that persona is, and, really mold that character, get into character when you hit the gym floor and work the floor.
Awesome. Isaac, thank you so much. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch?
Yeah. Instagram at The Prolific Professor, or just email me at Isaac, ISAAC, as my name says down there, I guess. Oh, this camera is real weird down there. Isaac at trainerrevenuemultiplier.com.
Awesome. I am at JAIM and the number's 91. We are at Trainer Revenue Multiplier. If you like what you heard, please make sure you rate, subscribe, share, put this all over your social media. We will share back. If this was helpful, make sure you reach out to us because there's a whole lot more we can do. And until the next episode, have the best rest of your day.